Hey guys, it's week 2. We had a couple props that we went through. I just kind of wanted to go over because me and the guys had a couple different ways that we did it. The first one was going through a door. It wasn't like a true breech where, I mean, you didn't even have to turn a handle. It just kind of flopped open, right? You just had to push it to get through. But there were a couple different techniques, and some were, always better than others. So just gonna run through the first one. And you can kind of see there already that there's a bunch of different techniques. So I, all the way to the left there, kind of slap it open and it comes back on me, which kind of takes away all my focus. Barnes there, the second one from the left, gives it a soft push. You see in the middle there, Tony kind of has his gun, excuse me, all the way up and then has a soft push on the door. And then Shane, fourth one over, does the muzzle push, and Daniel at the end there kind of does a toe tap, right? Definitely mine was the worst because the door comes back on me and it takes away like all of my focus. I actually instinctively go to push it with my gun hand and have to pull it back, and the RO was actually a little nervous that I might have swept myself right there. You can see that right in the middle, the soft push literally was the best way because Tony's right on target first, as you can see right there. But it's one of those things where you kind of have to think about it when you're going in, right? Do you come all the way to a stop to where you can use your toe like Daniel did? And it kind of took him a while to get on target. It is one of those things where you kind of have to find a comfort level, right? We ended up doing it twice. And on the second run, you see Tony in the middle there with the soft opening, and then he's on target before the doors even open, and he's on target again, right? I did a much softer open on the door, and I was able to get on a little faster. Daniel went away from the toe and pushed with his hand, and Shane went with the muzzle push again, which I don't think is a bad thing. But when you get a prop like this, you do want to, think about it before you get into it, and be, cautious, and don't be like me on my first run, and don't go in too hot and slam that thing open. Second prop we did was the Texas Star. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. The plates fall as soon as you hit them, which changes the balance of the star, and then it'll start spinning, right, if you don't shoot them off fast enough. The thing about the Texas Star is you want to hit the top one first, because then it's pretty much still semi-balanced, and then when you hit your next one, they'll start to move, and if you do it right, they'll kind of come to where you hit that second one. But if you don't, then it starts to spin, and you have to decide if you're gonna hang out and trap the targets, or if you're gonna try to chase them with your gun. So we'll go ahead and run our first run here. And you'll see that there's a couple different ways that it was done, and obviously different levels of success. But yeah, so you get the gist of it there. So we'll back up, and you'll see that right out of the gate, actually all of us except for Daniel to the far right try to take the top one first, right? So me and John actually get it. You can see a little wobble in Tony and Shane's, which means they had edge hits. If you look at it closely, there's just a spring back there holding them into like a little channel, right? And they didn't hit the plate solid enough to knock it out. You'll see Daniel hits the one off to the right. Now you'll see that his instantly starts spinning, which means every shot that he has now is going to be harder for him, right? You see John and I both go right down to the next right paddle because it's kind of sitting right there, and then it starts things coming back up for us, right? So then you hit the next one, and you can take them down like that, right? John struggled a little bit. He is also shooting irons, and it was kind of a hard shot, honestly. Tony and Shane, because they had problems, you see Tony right there in the middle, clears his up pretty good, right? And then because the last two are already rolling, they're harder shots for those guys. Daniel on the end there is able to like arrest the movement by hitting in kind of the right order. He takes those two top ones and puts all the weight at the bottom and kind of stops it, right? That was actually pretty impressive after, you know, having not a great start. So that was pretty cool of him. And then Shane just ends up chasing. You can see his gun kind of following it around there, and that's like really not what you want to be doing. Anyway, that's the Texas Star. Try to start from the top and work your way, whatever your strong side is, either the next right paddle or the next left paddle, and just if you can hit them, you know, that's the best way to arrest that movement and make your way through it. Try not to chase them.